Most of you all know my story. You know that 2014 I was diagnosed with cancer. Stage 3 cancer, nasopharynx, and we didn't know what to expect. And the concern was, you hear nasopharynx, nasal passage. Yes, your nasal passage starts right here. But the nasopharynx is back at the base of the brain. And so their concern was, is it protruding or expanding out into his brain? First, they confirmed I did indeed have a brain, okay? And then luckily, it was contained to the nasopharynx. And we found out that we were going to be blessed with 35 radiation treatments over 7 weeks, 5 days a week, coupled with 7 rounds of chemo. Now, they told us that those two complement each other. I think that was the word they used. They complement each other. What it really means is one makes the other more intense. One makes the other more intense. And it was pretty intense. 35 radiation treatments, 7 chemo treatments, and it was hard. And I remember, I was 8 a.m. We'd drop the girls off at school, or Dolly would take me to my radiation treatments, and they would strap me to a table with a plastic custom-made mask and 7 blasts of radiation that just got longer and longer. And, I never heard God say He was going to heal me. Never heard that. What I did hear, I'll be with you. Distinctly remember, I'll be with you, and it'll be okay. Don't know what that meant, but laying on that table, I had peace. Midst of all of it, I had peace. About 2/3 of the way through, the doctor asked me if I wanted to take a break because the radiation, the chemo, they were really affecting me. And I asked him, I said, "Are you telling me I have to take a break, Doc, or are you offering me the opportunity to take a break?" He said, "No, I'm offering you the opportunity." And I said, "Well, you gave me an end date, and we're not quitting. That's going to be the end date to all of this." And we got through 35 radiation treatments, 7 rounds of chemo, and we think we're at the end of the journey, and 3 weeks of me not eating a thing because my mouth was burned up from all the radiation, and losing weight and having to start taking baths rather than showers because I couldn't stand. And Dolly was wanting him to give me a feeding tube, and walking in for those follow-up appointments and sitting myself up, I realized how blessed I was that I could walk in the doctor's office, because I looked around, there were a lot of people who couldn't. Doctor said he's not there yet. And I lived on yogurt and Velveeta cheese omelets and room temperature milk for about the next 3 weeks after that. 3 more rounds of chemo. September of that year, hairless and 100 pounds lighter. We went to get the scan, and they said, "You are cancer-free." Praise God. But I never heard God say, "I will heal you." Although my radiation oncologist told Dolly bluntly, "We're going to heal him." I do know that we got cards from hundreds of people. Churches I'd never been to, people I didn't even know, sent me cards saying, "We are praying for you," and I can tell you it gave us strength. But all I ever heard God say was, "I will be with you." God is with us in the midst of our suffering, and healing comes in many different ways. And if our suffering is intended to bring us closer to God, then rejoice in your suffering. Easier said than done, I know. But rejoice in your suffering. And if healing is intended to bring us closer to God, in whatever form it comes, rejoice in your healing. Sometimes healing comes from being set free from the prison that our body has become, such as I believe with my mother.